Hello, folks. In my previous video, we learned about basic cloud, how cloud used, and what's the difference between the on-prem or legacy way of deployment and managing servers and cloud. This video, I'm going to mainly focus on how you can deploy your application into cloud. And if you didn't get a chance, I highly recommend see my videos. You understand better the cloud. So this video, I'm gonna go over the development and deployment things from the development standpoint. Let's say you developed an application, and the most of the developers are question, okay, I have application developed or I have a code with me. How do I deploy my application to Azure? What are the ways I can do it? That's the biggest question when usually if a developer started using a cloud. If you're Azure, I'm going to cover from the Azure perspective, but it should be similar for even other cloud providers. Okay, so these are the way I'm just given the main and uh, most applications deployed, the way they use it, Azure cloud for any sort of deployment cloud. So let's look at that. I'm also going to show you the Azure portal, how this each resource looks like. Let's say you have it's the main, there are four ways you can deploy. It's a four is a major 90%, most of them they use this uh, resource to deploy their application, and they use application service, they use Kubernetes service, they use virtual machine, and the function app. So the application service is nothing but it's an app service where you can, if you have a container, let's say you have a Docker image built in a local, you have a code, you build a code, and you create a Docker. You can just push the Docker and to the Azure, and there Azure they have a Azure repository. Basically it persists all your Docker image. From there you can deploy app service. So if you have an Angular and you build the Docker for Angular for your application, then you can take that and deploy here. So what will happen is very simple. It will just deploy their application and show you, even it gives you URL so you can access it. And the next way is most popular is Kubernetes. The same thing, you need to build a Docker image. So the Docker image you can manage in Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is basically container management. The main difference is app service is just a one spinning of one service, whereas the Kubernetes you can spin a lot of parts, and it has different features, dynamically scaling up, scaling down. There are so many features in the Kubernetes service. And the virtual machine, it's the most popular. Many developers prefer this one because it's very easy. So virtual machine is, you just think of your computer. So you are trying to have your computer in or server in the cloud. That's it. So what it does actually, when you create a virtual machine, the virtual machine, you can just select what operating system you want, and what sort of it has multiple options, like you can have go with the Linux, um, or Microsoft Windows, or you can go with Unix. It doesn't have Mac, but it has other than everything, pretty much whatever you use for server. Then you can just simply spin off a virtual machine, and you can connect the virtual machine, and you can install any software like you used to do in on-prem. Let's say you run Python, you can just install Python in the virtual machine, or if you want Java, you can install JDK and run your application. It's very simple and straightforward. I will also look how the virtual machine looks in the portal and how we can create later this video. And the function app. So function app, the big difference is function app. You can go with the code. You can upload your code. It accepts your code and start running it. It has a different type of code. It accepts. It accepts different technologies like Java, Python, Node.js. Major technologies it accepts. So this is the main the way you can deploy and the major industries follow this four way of deploying. Okay, let's go and see how the Azure portal looks like. Um, so let's see, look at this. So this is the way Azure portal looks. These are the items like you recently you opened. So it shows here. And so you have a portal here. So once you get into the portal, you can simply click all surveys where you can see the all the list of the service they provide, or you can go directly search window. You can just type virtual machine, so you get all the tools and applications associated on your search. Let's say virtual machine. Creating virtual machine is very simple. In usually in on-prem, you have to go a lot of things where you need to purchase your operating system, where you have to purchase the machine, server, the network, the connectivity, so many things. Whereas in cloud, that's a very easy part. Here's the thing: just click create a virtual machine, and it just provide different option. Now it's just a matter of filling few forms. What can, let's say, look at this image. So you have a different image if you want. It's a basically operating system, and you have a different operating system you can choose, and just go click, you can create it. Probably in my next video I will show you specifically how you can create virtual machine and access from your local. So look at that. So it has provide all the key values how you can access. It also give you a password at the end once you create it. Let's go back. So and also look at that app servers, app service. This is app service. The same way, click create app service, you get a window. Look at that. So the app service you have different. So you can use code, Docker container. It's a Docker container. You can select what container is it and what kind of container. You can just need to give the name. So you first, any resource you create, you have to create a resource group. So resource group basically identifying is a grouping of resource you can put in a one resource group. Like logically you can segregating your the components. And this is a Docker image, you can get it, and you can just a matter of fill this form. Probably I can have another video how you can deploy app service. So I'm going to create a separate video explain in detail. This video probably I'll just give you a high level how it looks in the Azure portal, how you can create it. So now we can simply create the app service by filling this form, and once finally just click review create, it creates. And once it created, the automatically the cost is added. So whatever the resource you use, then it will cost will be calculated. And even you can see the cost management. If you click that, you would get that all the list of application use, how much. It will also give you the estimation and projection. The cost will be of our subscription. And here you see the, let's say, function, how it looks. That is a function app. So the same, so the look at the template, the screen would, even the app server, everything that same, the window. So you can simply just click it, you will get the similar the form you get. You just need to select what you wanted. If you want to code, you have to specify the code. If it is a Docker container, you have to use Docker container. You can select the resource and all the information. Similarly, I will create another video specifically function app, how you can use function app. So these are the main method where you can use, where you can deploy your application. If you click that, it'll go again, it comes here. So apart from that, you see there are other the tools. Look at here, and these are network components, and also there are tools related to AML and the DevOps tools, and general the computing storage and web related. So this way you can deploy your application. I hope this basic will be useful for you if you are a developer, and if you are just gonna start deploying your application to cloud. You need to consider these things. in specifically Azure. Thank you for watching my video. If you like it, please subscribe. I'll have a separate video for each one, like virtual machine and function, how you can create it, how you can deploy your application, how you can connect from your local. Thank you for watching. Please like my video or subscribe. Bye.